guys.
Tons of fun, tons of
Okay,
work.
so let's throw up some deck lists while these guys are still looking. Now, we're going to put Matt's deck list up first. If you've been here with us earlier on our coverage on the semifinal match we covered a minute ago, you've already seen it. Here it is again. He does not. We talked about a little bit about.
Loopy thinks about it.
He can't see this, but he's got the links. He can look it up.
Okay.
I've dumped those into the chat with those guys earlier. I'll throw it over there so you can see it again, Ian.
What do you think of Matt's deck list here?
All right, so let me pull that up on my Discord.
Go ahead.
Jango deck lists are Jango deck lists. I mean, the deck is very, very powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's got all the TDRs, everybody's got all the TDRs. Everybody's got all the War Jugs. Everybody's got the Ruthless Raiders. It's interesting that Fire Spray, which is one of the absolute best cards.
Sees no play anymore.
Gone.
It's not good enough anymore, and it's not in Matt's list.
Yeah.
No.
I think, if I'm looking at this, Tada would be proud because there's on the doorstep in the sideboard.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is related to the mirror. I can tell you. He's got Planetary Bombardment in the sideboard, which is some degree of spice, and he's running a lot of indirect stuff.
He does.
Indirect packs. And the other thing is, he does have the 1-drop heavy unit version, right? Because he's got First Order Stormtroopers, the indirect Stormtrooper, the Greedos, and the Guavians, and the ISB agents, and the Daring Raids, and the Electromagnetic Pulse, still costing 1. So it's a deck that can, hit you when, you really don't have that many resources left.
Yep.
Yeah.
These guys are almost ready, so 2 minutes?
The other thing I'd say, it looks like they're starting to resource here. Daniel has put his resources out.
We have 2 minutes. The head judge has just agreed to give us 2 minutes. So let's have a quick look over Daniel's list. Ian and I have not seen this list yet.
No,
So we're on 30 health, Jango here. He is playing the Radiance. I like that.
Yep, and he's got some extra removal, which there was a real big open fire against Stevie Getz, who heroically piloted Luke into the top 8.
Yes.
I mean, not every Jango runs open fire by any means. And he's also got Pelps in the sideboard, which you just saw kind of saving the day with that sneak attack. He's also got Cad Bane in the sideboard, which is a big capture unit and certainly could come in against Jango. So this would be a great match.
All right, gentlemen. Well, the judges, I think, are ready for us to turn this loose. So why don't we go ahead and we'll do a quick show them the matchup here. And why don't we give them the thumbs up? What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let me do that. All right, we are good to go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gamers of all ages, here we are at last. After what must be about 15 hours of play or so, we are down to the final
showdown, baby.
The final 2 players here at the Star Wars Unlimited Sector Qualifier here in Denver. We're looking at Matt here on the left-hand side of your screen. Let's have a quick peek. There we go. I hit the wrong one. There we go. There's Matt. And I did not update Daniel. I'll do that later. We'll come back to the main screen for now. All right, starting out with a Pride.
Oh, he's got initiative. He's going to be able to claim initiative, so that's a great start.
Indeed.
Absolutely. In the initiative role, in the Allegiant General Pride meta is real important.
Yeah.
You see him actually.
He's going to Tarkin Town it. Yeah.
Ooh.
He's going to get rid of it.
Very aggressive Tarkin Town, but I like it. I like it a lot.
So,
oops.
I mean, you don't want to take 4 damage from Pride on the gun.
Okay.
The biggest difference I see when we looked at their deck list was Matt's running 30% of his cards are 1 cost, and Daniel's running 34% of his cards are 2 cost. And it'd be interesting to see if that plays a difference in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. As a Quinlan player, I mean, I much prefer the Jangos that run all 2s because I have 2s. Ones that play under curve are really an issue.
Yeah.
I think actually in the mirror, though, I mean, the 5 extra health on Daniel's base is undoubtedly important. And also, he has a little bit more sturdy units on the low end. Just not as many of them.
That's a great point.
Then let me just check something both players have access to pulse.
Yeah, I think we started to see a lot of EMP in various. If you're playing yellow, you probably either have a couple EMPs in your main or in your sideboard. We've seen a lot of that over the course of the weekend.
I have written down
Absolutely.
4 cards I really want to put in decks, and that is one of them, along with Gorilla Soldier.
Gorilla
That
Soldier
thing
has
is
been a
just-
hero.
Man, that thing is played so well.
Every time we've seen it, it's had a big impact. Easily one of the best commons coming out of JTL.
Sure. And one thing that's nice about Star Wars Unlimited that's not every game is there's commons that have just incredible power levels.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Gorilla Soldier's power, Super Laser Tech is a common, and we're having the first TDR of the match.
TDR. This
All
is
right.
our 9th TDR today, guys.
That's right. Take a shot, gentlemen.
Oh my God, how much have you guys drank?
Oh, man. We're not drinking it. This
I mean,
is for the folks at home. But if they're
I mean,
making 9 shots in, you're done.
Yeah.
Like, you're done for the day.
Yep.
I thought you were from Texas. That's a Wisconsin level tolerance if you're taking a shot every time you see a TDR doing this coverage.
He's not
So,
kidding. Those
I don't know,
Wisconsinites
folks.
take their drinking pretty serious.
All right, so Warjug gets the shield off the 7th Fleet, but not able to tap it down.
Going to EMP it and tap it down instead.
Oh,
Pulse.
brutal.
Going to just pulse
We're
it.
just talking about your card, Ian.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're just
Yep.
talking about your
There
card,
it is. So many good vehicles now. So many good vehicles now. That card has so much utility and so many different matchups.
So he does get it to swing in for
Yep.
3.
He gets in for 3 with, I think, the
Fleet Lieutenant.
fleet,
the fleet, 7th
the 7th Fleet Defender was able to swing in.
So, unfortunately, I mean, he fired the CDR off so early. It's just the flip turn. He can't cast the Juggernaut to kill the 2 units.
No, he
Right.
can't. He can't this
needs-
turn.
He needs an IG-2000. IG-2000 is a huge swing in this
Yeah.
game if Matt has it.
I think if he had it, he would have played it already.
Could be.
Matt considering his options.
He's on the. He has the initiative. Yes, I forgot to move the marker. Okay, I was like,
Yeah.
they're using somebody else's initiative marker, so I was not seeing it correctly.
We got to get you guys a late night initiative marker.
Well, I've been meaning to go. So the laser gaming guys will do ones, where they'll put your logo on the back of it, and I keep meaning to go to them and get one done for my logo, and I simply haven't made the time. I've spent too much money on audiovisual gear to go order more
Right.
tokens.
Don't forget shipping fees.
Late night. Yep, late night's been around since Destiny.
Nice.
The final Destiny worlds, both players were using a late night token for their power
Nice.
actions, and
Nice.
any late night member, if you recognize us at an event, will give you a free initiative token.
Very
So,
cool.
like,
Nice.
free.
Now, I'm going to do this because Ian loves this camera. Ian loves it when I show.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna focus in on Matt?
Ian
the
loves
stress
it.
on his face right
Yeah,
now is
Ian loves it when I show
fantastic.
the stress cam, as
Yeah,
we refer
stress
to it
cam.
here.
So I think
Matt
he probably
highly
does not
focused.
have IG-2000.
No.
No.
If he had IG-2000, this was a very easy decision.
Yeah.
Right. Whatever it is he's holding, he's very clearly having to work through the lines to figure this out.
And I did play Jango. I think that there's also a pretty good chance he has more TDRs. That's probably what he's thinking about. Because
just
firing one off that early is
Going-
is
Oh, he's gonna sneak attack
He's
out
going to
the
sneak the
Warjug
jug
in
in.
He
Yep.
snuck it out.
But Daniel's got full resources.
Mhm.
He's
Yeah.
able to tap down that
Mhm.
snuck jugger regionally. So this could be a body blow. He's only got the Gorilla Soldier left to take the tap downs. Daniel, very good play, I think, here deploys Jango. Says, hey, exhaust my leader. And then see if you can get another one. Tempo on tempo matchups. These are both tempo decks for sure.
Very much so.
Are very much chess matches. So these can be very cerebral games. And you saw how much Matt thought about that decision there, and it's a lot on the line.
Runs the soldier into Jango to exhaust him with his own leader, and then presumably Daniel will play something. And I'm sure he's not going to leave those resources unspent. Here we go. Gorilla Soldier.
And if he can play something ready, he's got a clear road, right? Because Matt Jango cannot tap
Correct.
him. He has to deploy before he can do it as leader.
Yep. So we go here. and then here. I'm assuming 3 to base? Nope, 3
Yeah,
to Jango. Went straight to Jango. Initiative change. Juggernaut going away. Matt burning a whole bunch of cards for that Juggernaut, not really getting any value out of it.
Anything out of it.
He TDR'd for it. He sneak attacked for it. Nothing much there.
He had to, but he did kill a P-38 and a 7 fleet. So
that's fair.
I think he did that to save 6 damage.
That's fair.
Yeah.
He did clear the space units out. That's not insignificant. He wasn't able to get any offensive value out of it. Let me correct my statement.
Right. All right. So 6 damage on Matt's Jango.
Yep. Pretty clear Daniel's goal was to just get that opposing Jango off the board quick as he can.
He's going to try to ping it dead.
Either that or he's going to smash the Gorilla Soldier into it just to get rid of it. Raider. Matt's not going to allow that to occur.
So if he's got TDR Devastator right now, if he can TDR the Devastator, that is huge.
I think he's only got a couple of cards in his hand. He's got a Juggernaut of his own.
Yep.
The Jug's pretty good.
Definitely clears Jango out.
These are very interesting matches because there's very few opportunities to hit home because both leaders are so good at exhausting the other side's units. How many people we got watching live between the channels on Restream, Wes?
Restream says right around 1,000. Well, 1,100 if you add in Twitch.
Nice.
So we got 1,100 people watching Star Wars Unlimited live.
Pretty awesome, huh?
Yeah.
Welcome,
everybody.
That's some good numbers for the game. Yep, thank you. Thanks for joining us on Sea Raptors channel. If you
Absolutely.
haven't given them a like to subscribe, I always am bad at asking people to like and subscribe, but you should absolutely do that.
I honestly, I hate it. I'm one of these people on YouTube that I'm like, if I have to ask for it, I'm clearly not doing something right. That's the way I look at it.
Right.
But I'm also old school, so
I'm happy to tell them to like and subscribe to your channel.
I appreciate it, and honestly think, hey, I'm in the same boat as you, man. Like I've been telling guys all weekend, like go check out Late Night, follow them. They obviously do a lot more content. Most of my Star Wars Unlimited content and time has been invested in trying to bring this level of tournament production to life. Right? I've done 2 PQs and a bunch of store showdowns. This is the first major event that we've really had in the States, other than maybe the Boston Invitational.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be here, and we've been able to pull it off. But it has been a long road to get here. Let me tell you.
Absolutely.
To the base.
Raider to tap down the War Juggernaut. If we're doing shameless plugs too, don't forget to check out the On the Button podcast on YouTube. That's Wes's and I podcast.
And Trey.
And Trey.
3 of us do.
All about Star Wars Unlimited.
It's fairly new. We started messing around with it for the last month or so. Yep. I was a Destiny player as well, so I knew some of the folks, that community coming into all this, a lot of overlap. But it's been great to see that the community is larger, right? This community is bigger.
Ooh, Daniel's got a Devastator in his hand.
I still have 4 Destiny decks built, so maybe we can roll some bones.
I was so disgusted. I'd play. I was just so disgusted with FFG. I sold all of it. I was like, get out of my life. I'm so pissed.
And I've told this story on Late Night, but I actually didn't really want to like Star Wars Unlimited because I was still so salty when they first started talking about it. But they won me over. It's a great game, great design.
I cannot disagree with you, sir. I cannot disagree.
They're responsive to feedback, which is important. I mean, if you didn't announce this, they did cut and change the prize tickets required for mats.
I did see that they had cut the mats down to 1,000. I would love to pick up the close the shield gate mat if I'm able to before we get out of here in a few hours, but I probably won't be able to.
I don't think there's any more side events going.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to get shut out of that stuff. I do have 100 prize tickets to spend, though. Ooh, I'll go get me a pack of cards.
Well, if anybody from Fantasy Flight is watching, one effect of doing coverage is you don't get to play. So maybe throw Wes a bone.
That'd be sweet.
He's worked hard for your game.
Ugh, it's been a weekend. All right. I'm trying to keep up with base damage here. Without being able to hear them, following along is sometimes difficult.
You're doing great. And those are Laser Gaming Jumbo tokens. I recognize those.
Oh, I
Shout
love
out
these
to
things.
Sarah
Yep.
and all of that crew. They're big in Destiny as well. And great people to have part of the community across the pond.
Matt feels like he's on the back foot here, guys. I mean, the Raiders not a bad unit, but he's staring down a lot bigger stuff on his side, on the other side of the board.
Oh, absolutely.
The Raider, though, could take out.
The
Well, I can now for sure.
He can now for sure if he goes into the next turn with initiative.
If you ran it,
But it doesn't look like Matt has spent any resources this round.
Yep, so that's actually the challenge, right? I mean, the initiative saves you a ton of damage, but you've done nothing this turn, and he needs to develop a board.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is a good game.
Ooh,
Well,
triple dark raid.
Talk about developing a board. Here we go.
We're 10 shots in now, boys.
Awooga, TDR alert, ladies and gentlemen.
You need a sound effect for
Yeah,
that.
I'm going to make
Watch
one.
out.
Oh, brings in his own.
Oh, don't tempt me. I do have a soundboard. So.
Well, the Devastator has many opportune targets here. Let's see what he decides to use it on. Probably, I mean, that's the easy answer is just knock out the opposing Devastator
The
and be done with
Juggernaut's
it.
only a 4/7 right now, or is it 5/7?
5 because
5/7.
he counts himself.
Yeah.
Big.
I'm not great at math, but I know that 5 is less than 9.
Are you sure?
He needed that.
Hold on, let me do the math real quick.
Sorry, go ahead, Loopy.
I said he needed that Devastator bad, and he got
He really
it.
did. He really did. You know, we watched a Jango on Jango matchup earlier. I think our top 4, the top 4 match, and it felt sometimes like you're just rolling the TDR and hoping it does what you need it to do. Like I don't really know what else there is there. Like sometimes in this matchup, it feels like it comes down to a little bit of, you pull the slot machine and hope it comes up aces. And I'm mixing metaphors there, but
I think we're
No, and I was talking about that as, I mean, when you're thinking about balance, I mean, it is kind of tough where in a lot of these mirrors, who TDR is better,
yeah.
Makes a huge difference. And I mean, had he got a P38 there instead of a Devastator, I suppose actually P38 can get it too. But I mean, the variance in that 7 card.
I'm not exactly
scry.
I'm not exactly sure what's happening here.
I think he moved the indirect damage to base and then surprise strike with Devastator, and that gives him the victory.
If my okay. I get it.
Again, somebody'd have to check my math.
Okay, we'll be 16, so it would be
Yeah.
4, 9, and 3 is 16. Yes,
Yeah.
that's correct.
So he took the game.
So if Devastator
Matt
puts
took
the
the
damage on the
game.
base and he yep, there it was. That's lethal. Okay. So Matt pulls out game 1 here with an amazing TDR play there at the very end. Look at that.
Yeah. Demonstrating a lot of skill navigating the matchup and then luck at the right time.
I think that's genuinely probably one of the most difficult things about Jango is trying to figure out it, or just navigating the mirror in the sense of when your opponent pulls the lever on the slot machine and plays their own TDR, you don't know what's coming up. So you have an idea, you have the idea of the kinds of threats that he might land, but you don't know which one's going to roll up, and you have to have a different response necessary, possibly depending on the threat, which threat you're talking about.
That's a whole different game if the vehicle he could have played is 7th Fleet Defender as opposed to a Devastator.
Yeah, completely.
100%.
And, probably the single most unfair thing in Star Wars right now is 6 damage to potentially represent, or 6 resources to represent 13 damage with the TDR Devastator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, both players are sideboarding.
Yep. Do we want to go look at
And-
sideboards, or do we want to just let them do their thing for a minute?
Well, I think we can go through. If you want to show up the matches, I can just see the board anyway. But I can tell you
Okay.
that there's probably only some, minor changes that you make because, I mean, both of these decks look pretty set for Jango, in the main deck, which is why they're in the final.
Well, we'll have one more quick look at Matt's deck.
Matt subbed out 4 cards.
Okay.
Yep. And I bet he's bringing in the weenies with On the Doorstep.
You think so? I mean, there's a lot of high-end stuff in Daniel's
He
deck.
has a lot of one-drop cards, though.
He already has a lot of one-drop stuff.
Oh, yeah. That's good stuff. And then Bazine is typically pretty good in the mirror. Trying
Ooh,
to hit
yeah.
the
Well,
mirrors.
I can see that for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe the Bazine. What about Force Choke? No, I didn't see a lot.
First Choke's in there for Han. First Choke's in there for Han.
Okay, that
That's
makes
for Han
sense.
Yellow
No, that makes sense.
to-
That makes sense.
to take care of DJ.
All right. What about Daniel? If
Oh,
you're
that
Daniel,
is-
you think you bring in the
Ubi,
deck?
that is a great. I never even thought about that. That's a great point.
What?
Force choke takes haunt. It takes DJ right off the board, gets you your resource back.
Exactly.
I didn't even think about
Yeah,
that.
so
Yeah.
So my fourth pack of Twilight was a Jango showcase. So I did play Jango at one of the PQs last time. So
Yeah.
Nice.
and it's a pretty good deck. If I was playing today,
Nice.
I mean, I would. I don't know if I would be on Jango just because I have a little bit of hipster in me, and I'm associated with the Quillen deck. But there's no question to me if somebody asks me what to play, I tell them that they're hurting their odds if they don't play Jango.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unless you're showcase chasing. Like you have a leader that you really love and you want to try to get that showcase.
So I will take the 1 second to do a shameless plug for my very first deck tech was Vader Green, and I do have a Vader 4.0. Here
Nice.
I think the Vader showcase from Denver went to a blue player that really did great.
We know that
I don't know if you
gentleman.
guys
He
have
lives in Houston.
Yeah. He lives in Houston. His
He's
name's
one of our
Andrew.
locals. Yep.
Yeah.
Did
We
you-
tried
did
to
you
get
have
him
him on
on
stream, Paul?
we tried to get him on stream, but
Oh.
Andrew does not play on
He
stream.
doesn't. He won't play on camera if he has a way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Well, we're
have to
missing the
get-
game, so we
you
should
have
get
to
back
get
to the
Andrew
game.
on top cut to be able to get him on stream.
Yep.
All right, we're back on having to kill
Yeah.
time, so let's get here back to business.
All right. Let's see here. So, no damage yet. 2 resource round. Crafty Smuggler is ready. There we go. Daniel uses his P-38 to exhaust the Zygarian on his first action of turn 2.
So this is a good start for Daniel. I mean, because he's going to be able to get some damage on base here. The ISB agent is going to be able to get the shield. I did not see which event he
I
revealed. 'Cause he went
didn't
directly
either.
To Daniel.
It looked like Daring Raid.
That wouldn't shock me.
Okay, well, that means that Crafty Smuggler has a probably short lifespan going on here.
Could be.
Oh, then maybe it wasn't Daring
Well,
Raid.
he leaves the resource up, so maybe it was something else.
Must have been something else, yeah. Matt going a little wide here. Lots of 1-drops in Matt's deck. We were talking about that earlier in his match with Micah.
Yeah, and that's you could look at it as kind of the American more Django or the European Django. I think the European Djangos from Milan ran a lot of 1-drops, or at least the winner did. Importantly, Daniel has initiative.
Okay, so he's going to attack into the Zygarian, kill it,
Kill it.
and then when the P-38 dies, the ping damage
Ping
is going to go to
onto
Credo
Credo.
and murder that.
Yep, it's pretty good value.
But great value out of that card.
Let's see how he does the indirect from the Zagarian too, because the Zagarian does 2 when defeated indirect damage.
That
He's
also
got to put that on.
That's actually relevant because then that decides whether or not he's going to trigger. He's going to fire off Greedo.
Right.
Okay,
So
he's going to
Daniel puts
throw it on the
1,
base
2.
and kill
Does he
Greedo.
put the 3rd on the crafty.
Niente. That feels
no,
that hurts.
He took both the
Ooh.
base.
That hurts.
Went with the Greedo.
He fired off
lost a
Greedo. He fired off
Devastator.
Greedo and lost a Devastator off the top of his deck. That hurts.
The deck giveth,
And
the deck taketh away.
it does happen. We'll exhaust the crafty with the ISB. Now come in with the 7th Fleet.
7th Fleet is a good card in the mirror because of that shield.
The
that he
shield.
puts on there.
One of the best games we caught.
Ooh, TDR.
Were you able to catch any of? Well, we'll talk about that later.
Number 11.
Yeah.
TDR, man, we are
We have
I need more tequila. Just bring the tequila. We'll just start slamming tequila shots every time they play one of these things.
Someone please bring back Wes from Denver, Texas. If you see a gentleman with all kinds of oversized big equipment,
just
fall in the gutter somewhere in Denver.
Yeah,
he needs help.
Just,
he needs
just,
help, and he's a great guy.
Just kill me, man. It's crazy.
Mrs. C Raptor will make sure he gets
No, she'll leave me here. She'll be like, "You did this to yourself, you loser."
Yeah, and you can see the atmosphere. There's a lot of people checking out the epic conclusion live
Yep.
behind
Yep.
the players.
There was a really big crowd for that match you guys were calling with Steve and that Luke deck back in the quarterfinals.
I think a lot of people were rooting it on.
A lot of people were rooting for Steve. A lot of people really wanted to see Luke take that match down.
Yeah.
And we were trying. We had 800 people watching live, and KTDOD is a great community. I don't know if you're there or not, but shout out to Stevie Getz.
Oh, for sure.
Not only does he go home with a Luke showcase, but showing the Green Blue Hero folks the way.
Going
and
high.
what about Giovanni too? With
yes,
Yoda?
with his
Oh,
Yoda.
that was so much fun.
We had him on stream yesterday. That is a very fun deck.
Yep.
So and for when the VODs come out on late night, I mean, we did have round 9 was Steve versus Giovanni, and that was probably my favorite match I've called, certainly in set 4.
That would have been fun to see in that game. Those two would have been a riot to watch.
I think we asked for it, but you beat us to it, Loopy.
Yeah, you guys were able to scoop that one out from under us, but that's cool. It happens.
Not my first rodeo,
nope,
my friends. But here's the thing, technical difficulties or not, we want as many games as possible for the community.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we were able to Voltron up, at the end and combine forces on the better setup.
I agree.
Certainly,
I appreciate that.
With our waylay to Missouri of our actual equipment.
Indeed.
And while I'm on this
so
stream
terrible.
too, shout out to Jordan on guaranteed delivery.
We met him.
Delivery.
Yeah.
Yep.
There, but Jordan from Colorado Cantina Crew and Hunter and Jeff from Bothan Network are the heroes of the day for getting all of the second stream. But it's good having 2 tables, and we're probably going to have that. We're going to have that in Richmond. We're kind of doing a similar thing with McClunky.
I'm sure McClunky's in Richmond.
And we'll see what happens in Minneapolis, because we'll be there. I mean, we did make a commitment to do both the sectors and the regionals because I wanted to have it. We did Gen Con last year, and it was just a shame having those great big tournaments. And heroically, Co Dameron,
I saw some of
like
his stream on during the day at Gen Con.
But it was a missed opportunity for the community. Those matches should have been, front and center out there.
I don't disagree with you.
We're fixing some of that. Yeah.
I don't disagree with you, but I like that he was making the effort.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Cohen. He helped me. He absolutely did the right thing, I'm saying, from a systemic perspective. You don't want to have events like this and have no coverage. That would be a shame. So glad you guys stepped up. Late night is doing what we can.
Yep. No good to me dead.
Nice.
That's a good one.
Poor Jango. He's going to be taking a nap for a little while. This game a lot less, how do you say it? It's interesting, I'd say, than the first game. It feels like there's been so much back and forth.
Yeah.
And board clearing and trading of units. And, like he's going to sneak in a Raider and it's going to get EMP'd, and so he's going to get nothing out of it.
Well, he's going to get the win defeated.
He will get the win defeated. That's fair.
Yeah. Ruthless Raider was actually late night spoiler before release. So
very nice. Very nice.
It was there, so it's an okay unit. I've seen it played in a couple of decks.
A few decks here and there. All right, 2 more to base, 2 to Jango. I got to say, the longer this match goes, the more I think it favors Daniel. He has a high, just looking at those lists, I think he has a better top end.
Yeah.
Right. I presuming that he brought in those Palpatines and he got such value out of them last match, I think he has to. I feel like that really gives him better legs in the longer game.
Pretty good pressure point right here as to whether Matt can find either a Devastator or a Ruthless Raider to finish off the leader this turn.
He's got 2 cards in his hand.
He lost a Devastator early.
He's missing. Yep, he's down 1 Raider and 1 Devastator for sure.
Right. And did he cast TDR already? I think he TDR'd early.
Okay.
Well, so he's got 2
TDR.
Looks like all he's got is a Gorilla Soldier.
Well, that's actually pretty good, though.
Well, it's a question of where Daniel puts the damage. Looks like it's all going to the base. Yep.
Yeah, he's not going to let him get his Jango.
Yep. Understandable. Daniel's going in for 6 of his own. Is that a War Jug? It is indeed.
All right, so now Matt claims, knowing that he can't afford to not have initiative
Yeah.
in the next round.
Big lead here for Matt.
Yeah. And has not used his base.
No, Tarkentown's still available if he needs it. He probably will at some point. He used it very early last game, and it bought him. I mean, he obviously worked it into a win.
Yeah, he took care of the pride.
Yeah, that very early General Pride just got rid of it.
And both of these players have been navigating Jango with some consistency.
Yeah,
as
I
you
mean,
get to the higher
you don't
tables,
make it to this. You don't make it to this level of the event without having played this match before. But as we were pointing out, everybody's.
Daniel,
go ahead.
Yep, pro move right now. Looking through the discard, actually seeing what he all has available.
But that's the thing about this matchup is that there are a lot of really good cards available in these aspects. So no two Jango mirrors are going to be quite alike, I think. There's always going to be some little difference.
Yeah, it's a pretty entertaining match in space, usually.
Well, the War Juggernaut has been an interesting card out of this set because it's meant that you see more and more Jango action in the ground arena, whereas before it was just almost exclusively space.
Yeah. And, it is. I mean, the War Juggernaut is just a huge, huge card. Devastator is just a huge, huge ad for Jango. Really opened up a lot more strength into mid-range matchups that it did not have in the last set. Last set, the best thing it could do is Ruthless Raider, which was great. Ruthless Raider TDR is a great, great thing, and it's kind of disturbing that that's probably the third best TDR target now.
Yeah.
All right, so what will befall Daniel as Matt starts with initiative?
Yeah, Matt on the button here, resourcing out to 7. Let's see what he does. Ian's favorite view, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
The stress cam. Matt deep in thought. Tough match to navigate. Up a game. Playing for big stakes here. Okay. Good. I think that's good value there.
Yeah.
Get rid of the smash the Gorilla Soldier into Jango. Get rid of him. Now you have a turn. You don't have to deal with any of his shenanigans at all.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, we can't hear you when your microphone's over your head.
Sorry, my apologies.
Okay, so that's 4 damage to Jango.
I am watching along to check the comments on late night, so I see what you're talking about with the stress cam.
Yeah.
Right there. I don't know that every player would love that, but that's something that's pretty cool.
I guarantee you that not every player loves it. I guarantee it, but Ian's one of his favorite things.
It's my favorite thing.
So here's the question I have: has anybody been flossing in the background?
Not that
any of these cameras.
I mean, not that I've noticed.
Not that I've noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something. There's some hoodlums that are in this community. That's happened from time to time.
Daring Raid cleans out Jango. So we are Jango-less for a little while at least, as it's Juggernaut action for Matt as well. Nope, wrong card. Sorry about that.
The nice part about a Jango here is Jango loses, and in this turn, all the Jangos died.
That's true.
For those that are holding something against Fett the Elder,
there were a whole.
Has Matt used his Tarkin?
He has not.
That you got to take out that War Juggernaut then, right?
There were a whole lot of people in chat earlier very much rooting against Jango. I think the community is almost united against seeing this deck ever again. They're kind of tired of it.
Yeah, he Tarkin downed.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah,
Get rid of it, man. 2 from the Raider goes on to Matt's base. Only 3 health separate these two guys here in Game 2. Matt with a small lead and a game lead, having claimed Game 1 earlier.
Yeah, and with the Tarkin Town, that means that Daniel probably should have initiative, right?
Yeah, he should.
I believe he does. They just haven't moved the token, which always makes it difficult for us.
And folks, I mean, these guys are 15 hours into
this is
Star Wars.
Yeah,
ruling in.
Yeah,
but
these events are marathons.
Initiative token is both the rule is that there's supposed to be a and it also just is really helpful. So a lot of times it is the case that people get a little sloppy with passing the token back and forth, but it's a very good thing to get into the habit of doing. I know it'll be a mistake, but good players will pass initiative tokens. Good players will typically track life damage on a pad. And, if you want to have this level of results.
Yeah, Daniel absolutely on the button there. Yeah, absolutely on the button there.
4.
Smashing the Raider into Matt's base. Matt able to respond with his own Juggernaut in the ground arena. Going to opt for Bazine.
Okay.
Going to go attack Daniel's hand here.
What is in his hand?
Well, let's have a look.
Sneak attack,
Sneak
IG,
attack.
and a fleet.
Sneak attack, a 7th Fleet Defender, and an IG 2000.
So this is a tough decision. I don't know what Matt will do. You don't have to take a card with Bazine. You do not have to take a card with Bazine.
The IG is a problem because the IG could exhaust your Juggernaut and you won't get you won't get to attack with it this round. It looks like he opted to, he let him keep everything.
Yeah.
I can tell you now that he's done it. That's what I would have done too. I would have let him have it, because you do not want him getting a TDR.
True.
Yeah.
True. With all those ready resources, that's a fair point.
If you don't have Pulse or a P38, I mean, that could be Johnny Ball game.
Yep. Matt has had such good luck with these droid missile platforms.
He's done really well.
It's a good
with
unit.
them.
It's a great unit.
Thrawn likes that unit, but
Yep.
So does Jango.
Yep.
It is damage coming from the. So if they spread their indirect from that, I mean, you can exhaust things.
New Boba likes that card too.
Yes.
Indirect Boba Red loves that card. All kinds of good things.
Boba Burn, baby.
I've had fun watching that deck this weekend. I'm actually a little sad we weren't able to see one make it into the top 8 because I think that deck has a lot of good possibilities to it.
I'm surprised that nobody's made the meme of Elmo burning with a Boba hat yet.
All right, Daniel taking his time, making sure he gets the right resource put into play.
Some chat going on in late night comments, but there is a competitive update coming on Wednesday, so we'll see what, if anything, happens.
Oh, they've been talking about it in my chat the entire weekend.
Yeah.
Everybody is just expecting Jango to get the smash ban hammer.
Well, and they want TDR burn ban too.
Yep.
I mean,
That's the
I'll
other
be
one
honest.
everybody wants.
I've after this weekend, I've reached a point where I think I agree with them. That's just me. Like that's my opinion. One man's opinion.
So IG 2000 clears the droid ship. I think there should be one overwhelm that hits from that.
It does look like they missed the overwhelm. No, it went through. Yeah, they got it. I see it now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good unit. That IG 2000 is a very good unit too.
Yeah, no, there's so many good new tools for Jango in this set. It's kind of nutty.
And I think it's IG-88's ship.
Yes, correct.
And that's a leader that doesn't get much play. I'm not sure if there's supposed to be synergy there. Yeah.
All right.
I think they did mark the overwhelm. All right, so 2 damage.
Now that's interesting. Did you see what happened there? He assigned the indirect damage from the Gorilla Soldier to himself. He placed it all on the Raider. Then the Raider dies. He puts 2 on the base and 2 to tap down the Juggernaut.
Nice.
Yep.
That card is just absolutely ridiculous how flexible it is.
Yeah, no, Gorilla Soldier is very good. And also, that's a very good thing with indirect.
Yes.
We had actually Stevie Getz in our top 8 match do a very heads-up play, killing a unit to turn on a Luke hit and power it up from -3 to -6. And you absolutely can do that. Sometimes it is the right thing to kill your unit.
Yep. It certainly was there for the Raider. He got a lot of good value out of it, especially when he's having a hard time pushing base damage with this board state.
Yeah, and Daniel's been playing very, very well this match.
Absolutely.
The chat's going wild.
Smash
with
that Juggernaut off the board. Yep, my chat's definitely loving. Every time we see a Gorilla Soldier, they're like, man, that card just keeps going up and up and up in everybody's estimation.
Right. And Bazinga. Bazinga is what you say when Bazine hits for 1.
Is that? I didn't know that. That's okay. That's good to know. It's important that I learn these things.
It is. That actually came from the finals of the Chicago PQ. My opponent was Boba Green, and he had all kinds of Bazines, but we determined that
Boba's on the other side of the board.
it's
My
always
apologies.
Bazinga when it hits for one.
Okay. All right, Matt retains
That
the
was before
initiative. Or he grabs the
I
initiative.
think Boba got suspended right after our final.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, shout out to Jason.
My chat's asking, you can direct your own indirect damage to yourself. It depends on the card. Many of them are worded such that they say deal X indirect damage to a player, in which case, yes, you may choose yourself if that is an advantageous. 6 to base there from a surprise strike.
Surprise strike's a pretty good card.
I've heard that before. 7 health remaining for Daniel.
It's an equalizer. What does Daniel have up his sleeves?
Matt not showing lethal.
I see the crowd in person gathering behind these players. TDC Jason is in my chat. That is the winner of the first Chicago PQ, and he says Bazinga.
There you go. Yep, he's in my chat too. Look at that. He's doing the same thing. He's just popping around.
Thank you, my friend. He did the Boba Green Masterclass not that long after.
Mm-hmm.
You know, good. One for posterity, but you know what? Boba is legal in Twin Suns.
That he is.
Going to sneak out a Ruthless Raider.
Ruthless Raider is trying to find a way to close the last little bits of damage here. He's going to tap down. This is a Carrion Starhopper. Make Matt work for it. Can he answer the Ruthless Raider? He can't answer the 4 damage that's going to happen, you know, pretty much, of course, unless he can get 7 for lethal. But he needs to find a way to turn that. I don't think he can take the 4 attack from the Ruthless right now.
Matt looking at his hand, figuring out what his play's going to be. It's going to be another P38. He's going to be able to exhaust this Raider.
Huge have right there.
Yeah.
Huge have. But Boba's going to be able to come in.
Yep.
Yeah.
A pump.
3 to Matt's base.
Man, what a tense match. 6 health remaining for Matt. 7 for Daniel.
Very, very close here.
Getting closer than this. And a whole bunch of stuff on the line.
Matt's got to be hoping. Matt, this is one of those weird moments where it's like if you're Matt, you're hoping and praying you can find a way. And we know Matt's going to 4, right? The Raiders going off the board this turn.
Well, I think that's exactly. Daniel's thinking about a claiming.
Yep. I think I like this play. I think I like this play from Matt. Push as much damage as you can, knowing you're about to get hit for 2 more. And now a single surprise strike if you can't clear everything. Okay, so we're doing 2 to base, obviously, and he's going to knock off one of the P38s. Okay, there we go. He's going to deal 1 damage to Boba on the way out the door.
Right, but Daniel has initiative.
Did he claim?
Myself.
No.
Yeah,
did he?
Yeah, he claimed.
Okay, well, they haven't moved the bloody token. I can't see this stuff.
That's why he just resolved the Ruthless Raider and they moved on.
Okay.
I mean,
Devastator, 4 to base.
4 to base, that's it.
That's game.
We have game 3.
Game 3, ladies and gentlemen.
Decisive.
There it is.
Finals of the Denver sector.
Indeed.
You know, I hope people are still watching. What's our total viewer count right now, Wes?
You pay more attention to this stuff than I do. You're probably up around, let's see, math is hard, yo. Probably about 1250 or so.
1250. Nice.
So
good audience.
I'm from the basis of the community. I don't think that there's been a streamed event with that many total concurrent viewers. So
I won't
that
complain.
Tells me that people care about this event, so that's good stuff.
Let's make it happen, chat.
I think, you know, this is the team up at the end. Both channels did a lot of coverage of this event, and I very much have, you know, enjoyed kind of getting to meet you guys. And
yeah, for sure.
Kind of the quality of your work product, you know, this week. And thanks for having me on for this final match.
Absolutely.
We're so jacked up right now. We're instead of sitting, we're standing up. Like I'm so I'm rocking back and forth.
Now do you understand why I wanted the taller chairs for this setup, man? This is why. I didn't want to have to sit. I wanted to sit high. I wanted to sit like counter height.
I like a chair where my feet can hit the bottom, and a tall chair is definitely not that.
All right. Now Daniel's gone back to his sideboard here. I'm wondering.
We got double stretch cams.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly. He's obviously thinking about making some changes. Looks like he's going to swap out 1 card.
And Oftentimes you sideboard between being on the play and being
Oh.
on the draw.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. That's new to me.
That's
even.
new to me. This is my first TCG, so I'm learning so
Yeah.
much during this
And I
tournament.
think, man, have I ever played Destiny? You could sideboard, right? There were sideboard rules in Destiny.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if there's any too many CCGs
I mean,
played that had sideboard
so-
rules.
So one potential example, I don't know what's going on, but Allegiant General Pride, that guy, is
Right.
much, much better with initiative than not.
That's
So
true.
sometimes you could consider whether you want Pride if you don't have initiative.
Yep, fair
Or
point.
if you do have initiative and Pride's in your deck, you want Pride. I mean, basically every time. So, yeah, always think about that. You are absolutely allowed to change your deck between game 2 and 3.
We talked about that earlier, right? Earlier in the match, yesterday. I don't know, it kind of blurs together after a while. But I'm pretty sure yesterday we were talking about how, obviously, 3-game match. Usually, game 1 goes by, you make some sideboard changes, and then generally you don't see people sideboard between games 2 and 3. They've made the changes they want, but it is legal if you want to sideboard between 2 and 3. Totally permissible. Most people just don't seem to.
So, and another one, until the match starts here, you're allowed to sideboard in limited, too. I had a limited championship where it was on set 1. It was actually just recently. It was on set 1, and I ended up dumping my entire pool into my deck because the other guy had Vigilance and Thrawn, and he was running actually a mill strategy limited. So you're allowed to just put all your cards in, there, anything.
Oh, so you just put all 10
in
in so that you had a 60-card deck.
Yeah, I think I put 10 of my 12 remaining cards into the deck, and I did. That was my favorite match, limited. Shout out to Jack Fitzgerald in Madison, Wisconsin, young player. And I got over a deck that I probably shouldn't have done. He had a better deck than me, and I managed to squeak out a win to win the Misty Limited Championship.
That's awesome.
If anybody, since we have the reach we have, anybody wants to go to an event, Misty Mountain 1K is next weekend, April 12th. We'll have coverage of that there. And really hoping that store gets a PQ at some point.
Good store?
They put them in Appleton, Wisconsin. It's a great store. BK, in fact, if you have Magic people around, they might know BK. He did a couple of decks named Boat Brew and some other things. I didn't know he was a big deal in Magic, but it's owned by a card pro. And,
okay.
I mean, like this event, CCG tournaments are notorious for not really putting player comfort first.
Oh,
He'll
yeah.
always do luck for players. There'll be a break. He's not running players onto like how long you can hold your bladder for success. So I mean, it's good having stores that are like that. So shout out to those guys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. It is game 3 of the finals here at the Star Wars Unlimited Sector Qualifiers in Denver, and it is time. One of these men is going home a champion. One of them is going home slightly disappointed.
Oh, wow.
Wow, no turn 1 play out of Matt.
Play for Matt. Wow.
That was after the mulligan. All the 1-drops in his deck and nothing to play.
And he's got the 1-drop.
Yeah.
He's got 15 1-drops, and he didn't have a single one.
Wow.
And this is good to say. I mean, people who say, very good CCG players can have very consistent success, but literally any deck can brick on anybody. I've
for
Kylo
sure.
Red, which is almost impossible to do.
Oh, I know. I've done it too.
Wes is a big Kylo player.
Oh, there you go. I had a Kylo showcase, pulled out of the other set. So
nice.
Yeah, we got to get together. I don't know. We'll talk after about when we're debriefing about where else you guys are going to be. But
absolutely, we'll figure it out.
My favorite part about Star Wars Unlimited is the community.
Yeah, it's been really fantastic this weekend. Meeting everybody. Everybody's been super friendly. It's really great so far.
Well, absolutely. All the Guerrilla Soldiers meeting all the Guerrilla Soldiers here in Game 3 so far. Excuse me, hit my mic. Jango liking the Guerrilla Warfare. There we go. I thought we were missing a few damage.
Yeah.
I think Daniel's loving this start.
Yeah, Daniel's.
Sure.
I mean, if you're Daniel, you've got to love the fact that the guy starts 5 health behind you, and you've pushed more damage, and it's literally about to be turn 3. Like that's got to feel really good.
And we're on Jango turn 2, right? Are we on 5 resources?
You are on 4 resources.
4?
This is the 4 resource turn.
Yep. Not quite yet.
Coming in with an IGE.
Good enough. It's going to set up an interesting Tarkin Town decision. When he wants to use it on that gorilla. What is Daniel's action? If he's got anything that can tap, he can sequence this with a card
Ooh,
first.
triple dark raid.
Oh,
Take a shot.
and now he's the one. He's the one shooting off an early TDR.
Awooga.
That's 12 now. That's 12 now.
Are you guys standing yet?
Ian is standing. I had to sit back down so I could run the stream deck. Only a P38.
Oh.
Wow. That's kind of a miss.
Sad trombone sounds.
Yeah. Wow, wow,
everybody is-
wow, wow,
You
wow,
won't
wow.
be able to get the Gorilla Soldier down, though. Ping it.
Yeah.
Certainly not the card he was looking for. Functional. Not the worst, but not what he was looking for.
Not terrible. Doesn't IG only have 4 health, so he could run into IG, ping it, and get rid of the IG?
He could. He's also the other nice thing is that it's cheap and it's about to bounce back to his hand.
Yeah.
And it's a nice little simple one tap he'll have for later
Yeah.
on if you can retain it for the Jango flip turn or something, right? A lot of good
Yeah.
options
Yeah,
to
he's
hold
gonna
on
do
to it.
He's going to do it.
He's going to smash
He's
it.
going to clear the ID.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably a good play.
Play value for that.
Push 2 more to base. Yeah.
Playing conservative. Does he need anything for the one resource? Doesn't look like it.
Big early lead here for Daniel in this decisive game 3.
And Matt will start with initiative on the Jango flip turn. Tarkentown
indeed.
is used, has 16 health remaining on his base. Daniel has 24 on the more beefy. I think it's Catacombs of Caldera, looks like.
No, that's the Deathwatch hideout.
Deathwatch Hideout. Why is Jango on a Deathwatch Hideout? I don't know. Maybe he's Mandalorian.
I don't know.
Got the
That's-
armor.
But that's the base.
Does he have 20? Does he have 24 or 25 health left?
An ISB agent. Showing him a daring raid.
Does Daniel have 25
have-
health left?
Yes, he's 25. Oh, I've got it wrong. My apologies. I'll fix it in a minute. Yep.
All
I'm
right.
one off
So
there.
ISB agents taps down the crafty. So it'll be interesting how he runs this. He's going to run a
Sneak
sneak
attack.
attack ruthless, which is a great card right now.
Kill off the Gorilla Soldier.
Just keeps
And 2 to the base.
pinging away at his base this right now, and it's just paying off.
Great value. Yeah, no, sneak attack ruthless is going to be 4 damage. There's very, very few things that can stop it. Just bounce. Or
At this
combi or
point,
something.
depending on what if Matt has an answer for it, it could be 8 damage to base.
Yeah. You could get max value
So
out
no,
of it.
we know. I mean,
Oh, there he
he's
goes.
there you go. He's got
Yeah,
an
he
EMP.
pulsed it.
The pulse. The late night chat has people suggesting bringing back Boba as a response for the
Yeah,
meta.
I'm going to go with no, please. I'm gonna go ahead and just say that a hard pass.
Might be engagement farming.
3.3 from the East German judge. Don't like this idea. No good to me dead on the deployed Jango. Keeps him
So,
out of action for a
now
little
he-
while.
Now Daniel's Jango is sleepy. I think that happened to Matt's last game.
It did. Daniel takes the initiative. Match Jango deploys and puts 3 into the base. Presumably into the base. We'll see where he puts the token.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
He goes to base. You don't get into the finals by making weird attack decisions.
I'm
Jango
just
needs to
I'm
go-
just saying that seems
We've seen it.
logical.
We've seen it
but,
a few
I
times,
mean,
though.
you know.
This weekend. But those people are not in the finals.
All right, 2 more to base from the Raider leaving the board.
And another thing too, with No Good to Me Dead, you've noticed both players now mark the token appropriately with
Yes.
the
Yeah.
reminder not
Yes.
to exhaust.
I've seen people do that a lot of different ways. Some people turn the unit full 180 degrees, and then when it's time to ready it, they just exhaust it, right?
Yeah.
It comes, to remind
Flip it
themselves.
upside down.
Either works. It gets the job done. But I like the reminder token. That's what they're there for.
But Jango, though sleepy, is on the field, so he can
He is
He can
game text. Mm-hmm.
he can
Which is
exhaust
what we're
the
about
water,
to
but
see
he-
here, I think. Yep.
Gonna
No,
exhaust Jango.
he's going to exhaust the other Jango.
He's going to
with
exhaust the other
Crafty
Jango
Swap.
by just running the crafty smuggler into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a very good play and an interesting play because you don't want to be the first person to TDR dev right now. You want to be the second person to TDR dev right now. So maybe some.
Oh, and he open fired it.
high-level match-
Nice.
Oh, open fire
Great play.
hits the field, clearing the Jango.
There it
Yeah.
is.
These are clear from taps.
Great play.
But he only has 3 resources left, so I wouldn't want to see a TDR here. It could be a sneak.
Okay. Just play
Ruthless
straight up
hard pass.
Ruthless Raider.
We see the judge staff. going through. How has SCG been? What a great TO.
Yeah.
they've
For
really
sure.
Oh,
Their
the judge staff has
been
been amazing.
phenomenal.
Did when the Raider came in, they do 2 to base? I must be off somewhere. Oh, well.
All right, so what will it be?
Matt's on the button here.
Matt can likely exhaust either the P38 or the Jango, but probably not both.
Yeah. See what he does. He's got his own P38. He's going to kneel down the Jango.
All right, so Daniel considers his option.
Yeah, I feel like they missed that 2 to base with the Raider play. I'm going to let them know real fast.
Yeah. Everybody at an event wants to have the result be absolutely correct. And the judge staff has to be gone. That was my instinct, too. P38 goes down, attacking into the Ruthless Raider, but being able to tap down the board. He's daring it. He's daring Matt, to do something or claim. He claims. So Daniel's got an opportunity here.
Oh, yeah.
To land a lot of damage.
Big spot.
Wow.
Big spot. If I have triple dark raid, I'm going to pop it here.
Yeah, I think this is a very, very important part of this match right now. So Daniel's going to take a think. There is a longer timer in the top cut of an event from Star Wars Unlimited. You don't have to worry about time. You have to worry about, what your best line of play is. It goes with Gorilla Soldier, representing a possible 5 damage.
He's going to go. He's thinking about where to put 1 on the ISB. He's probably going to just go 1 to everything.
Yeah.
All right, what else does he have?
Yeah, I still feel like they missed that Raider damage, and I
always on top of that.
and I said something. I mean, there's nothing else I can do about it.
Yeah.
Yep. So how this works? This is, I think, pretty common in commentary. All of ours that we do. We typically have a line to the judge, and we say if there's a possible thing, to have them look at it. But we don't have any, role. I mean, it's
the problem
their
is
responsibility.
they've both played a complete turn since that happened. I guarantee you they don't remember.
No.
Right? I wouldn't remember sitting in that chair. But I'm 98% positive that they missed it.
We both said the same thing. We don't remember. We're moving on.
Yeah, and there's nothing else we can do. This is at the end of the day, guys. This is the point we always make when we do matches on stream. The players on the table are responsible for the state of the game, right? The judges and everybody else can only do so much. So.
And we're talking about this before, and this has been marathon matches for both people. But this is one reason why you see players track on a life pad.
Yes,
to the side, because
correct.
I can guarantee you, if there's a judge call on it, the player that has a notated life pad that can explain exactly what happens,
exactly
the damage base, is going to actually win that judge call
if
it's in dispute.
No, I'm almost chat's like I went back and looked. I was like, I believe you. I watched it happen. I'm confident they missed it, but again, we can't fix it. It's up to the. I mean, at this point, both players seem to just let it go.
Let's see if it even makes a difference.
It may not make a difference. Matt's on the button. Both players' decks not seeming to feed them kind of decent units, or they're just not trading many big punches. We haven't seen a Devastator yet. We haven't seen a War Juggernaut yet out of either deck in Game 3.
And we've seen 1 triple dark raid that hit a P38.
It hit a P38 Starfighter.
Yeah.
So it feels like both of these decks right now are kind of struggling. Now, this is big, whatever it is. Okay, it's a Raider. Okay, reasonable.
He just keeps pinging that Jango.
Yeah, but can't kill it.
Yeah.
Can't kill it, which is very important right now because he's got all of these units. He just needs something that spreads one.
That time they got the base damage. There it was.
Yeah.
I mean, if it ends up mattering, Timothy, I'm not sure what to tell you. Go ahead, Loopy. Sorry.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, 19. There's the Devastator coming down, and that does have the ability to spread a lot of damage.
Yeah, he's literally gonna wipe the board because everything's got 1 HP left except that fresh Raider.
Yep, but that's going to actually be the end of Jango, I imagine, for
Yeah.
Daniel, because the Ruthless Raider is going to get its when defeated.
Well, he's got 2 when defeated triggers here to work with, so
Yeah.
he's got 3 direct damage
Yep.
to place.
And I like what they're doing right now, where he's actually just leaving the cards with the when defeated up and
Yeah.
deciding what to do
Yes.
one at a time.
I like this too until he thinks through it and says, like, okay, this one resolves here. Interesting. He's going to go to base with the Raider damage. Not sure I like this play, but that's what he's doing. Oh no, he went
Raider
to
damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Killed Jango.
There we go.
Does both.
okay, right, Derp. He's
Okay.
Derp. See, it's been a long day for everybody.
Yep. And the P-38's damage is really kind of irrelevant because he can't tap down anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
So you could have put it on that. I mean, almost certainly. Well, Daniel's got a decision here. Yeah. So yeah, he claims. I mean, no one cost is worth taking 9 from Devastator. The Ruthless Raiders are going to
No.
slam into the Devastator
Yeah.
at the beginning of this. Almost certainly. Though there's other lines. I suppose there's another tap down.
Well,
I mean,
you run
yeah.
the Raider into it and kill it
The
Doing
chances
full-
of that Devastator attacking
is
are
probably 0.
right
know
about
what-
the chances of snow in Texas.
You know what,
Whoa,
Matt?
whoa! It
well,
snows
hold
there
on.
all the
It snows
time,
in
bud.
Texas
We're on
all the
3
time.
straight years of snow.
I would say go to the Panhandle. Now I'll say this. You know what Matt really needs right now that we know is not on his deck? Commandeer, my friends.
Oh, yeah.
Commandeer.
That is play. You couldn't commandeer the.
Oh, it's too big.
It's
Wait, no,
transport and fighter.
it's
only.
transport and fighter only.
Yeah,
oh,
you
it's a
can't get
capital ship. Ah,
Think about it.
bummer.
A capital ship takes.
No, I
lots
get
of
it.
people.
No, I get it. It makes sense. I'm just saying that would be a really fun card.
Yeah, he's got to run the
Yep.
Raider into Devastator.
Good
There's
call,
no
Catchy
option.
on that one though.
Yeah, and
Or he's Ted. Or it's over.
Commandeer's a great card. I was very excited with Commandeer for Quinlan, but it is
Mhm.
actually pretty awkward into Jango. I mean, it is not. It's very hard.
is he
to
gonna
get,
play
like, full
something?
value. Yeah,
Okay, to ping it.
it's going to be a P-38.
Okay.
So he's going to go 3 to. Would he go 3 to base?
No. He.
Oh, he played it.
Played
I'm
it
an idiot. See, this is
to
what my
ping
point. I
down.
take my eyes off the screen.
Yeah, he played
And I
the
miss things.
P-38 to ping the.
Got it.
So he takes
And exhaust
He takes
it.
his 2 damage. Well, he can, and I like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Down to.
It's a game of inches. It's a game of inches. And now, how much damage is on Matt's base?
It's got 18.
18
so he's
on.
down to 7.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. So 9 left. Yep. So, well, actually, it only needs 7.
7
And
left.
so the Devastator, he's in check. Devastator represents lethal.
Devastator's
Yeah.
lethal here.
Right now, the Ruthless can still kill the Devastator,
Yeah.
but even with the tap, I mean, Matt has to very carefully navigate this because if he leaves himself without a way to kill Devastator and Daniel has initiative, that's the end of this game.
Chat's correcting you, Ian. You're partly correct. Commandeer isn't specific types of vehicles, but it is specific
6 or more.
cost.
Cost,
It's 6 or
okay.
less. So you were correct, just for the wrong reason.
Yeah. It could steal 1 capital ship then. A couple. 6 cost would get you Raider. Couple of
Radiant
capital.
7.
Ooh.
Ooh,
There
that
we
is
go.
Brutal.
That
Look at
is
this.
money.
We talked about that
Yeah,
and identified it there. So,
Yep.
just like John F. Tata
it's a
says,
money card.
I mean, great in the mirror right now. He's only got 2 damage available to him.
Yeah, he's
Just so-
at least 3 of this is going to the base, and he has to. I mean, as dire as it is, he's got to be considering putting all of it there, and he can't afford that. That's insane. But at least 3 of it's
Yep.
going, no matter what he does.
Yeah, and it also kind of puts him in. It's going to put him in check.
Yep.
That's a great play by Daniel.
I love this card. We keep seeing it this weekend, and almost every time it hits the board, it's an impactful play. And for some reason, it just doesn't seem like folks understand the value of Radiant 7 just
Yeah.
yet in the game.
100%.
Yeah, Tower late night chat while we're doing this. Tower Nine Brian is in the chat. He'll have a lot to say. We tried to actually get him on during the top cut, but all our matches went right to the end, so we
Yep.
weren't able to find time to interview. But yeah, shout out to Tower. Played a great match. I think Wu eliminated him in round 9.
Matt's going
That
to take
guy's pretty
initiative,
good
but
at
it
cards.
feels like this is already over. He's top decking, I think, just hoping and praying he can find an answer. An EMP is probably the only. What's what he have besides an EMP that would tap this thing down and keep him in the game a little longer?
P-38.
Another P-38 might do it. Yeah.
There's a lot of things that can tap it down.
He's
but
own
you gotta worry
Devastator, that
about
kind of thing, yeah. But I mean, goodness gracious.
whether Daniel has a Devastator is a very relevant question.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Devastator wins right here.
Chat saying Radiant's a $3 card on TCG Player. I'm like, exactly.
that's about
This is
to
my
go
point.
up.
Everybody's sleeping on this card. It's that good.
Anybody who's watched our stream over the weekend is going to buy
Yeah.
that card.
Yeah.
I plan on buying a pair. I only have one, so I need another 2.
They're really good cards.
All right, so
He's got it.
we are
Oh.
to crunch time.
This
We
is
are to
it.
crunch
This
time.
is
This
this
is
is
it.
this has to be the last. I mean, Matt's going to have to pull a rabbit out of a hat to find a way out of this
Yep,
game.
he
He's
got the
he's
pulse.
got the EMP. That buys him time. 7th Fleet Defender.
Doesn't have it.
He doesn't have it right now. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
No,
Luke.
I don't think he's got anything here.
But I think you try to flood the board if you can.
He's only got
Yourself
3
tons
cards.
of options.
He still has 6 left, so he might
I think
be trying to
you're seeing a
bait out-
TDR here. Yep.
Oh, TDR.
We're going to go fishing.
What a great match here in the final of the Denver Sector
Yeah.
Qualifier.
Both these decks just slug in and out, right? Swinging heavyweight punches back and forth. Move, counter move. We can't see what he's holding. He's being very cagey not to show us.
I
I
like lean,
think
like the screen's gonna help me. see
I
it.
know, right? I think I see a War Juggernaut. I think. I can't really tell.
Just get another camera back there for the hands.
Yeah, no problem. Yet another camera. All right, he's going with IG. I know you're kidding.
Mrs. Sea Raptor just took a.
Oh yeah, TDR. Everybody take a shot.
Oh, TDR.
Everybody take a shot.
TDR.
Oh!
13 today. We're gonna alcohol poison some people.
I
today.
think we've already alcohol poisoned a whole bunch of people today.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
from
just-
Wisconsin.
he's flooding
got
the
this.
board.
All right, we're going to trade the IG for the Radiant. That at least holds back single action lethal damage here. Going to answer with and got another Zygarian Starhopper.
All right, so Daniel claims, right? Yep.
I believe Daniel claimed there. They just did not pass the token over.
I'm shocked we made it out of that phase. That was really good play by Matt to survive that phase.
Just to even survive it, but I mean,
Yeah.
it feels like he's treading water and the tide is coming in.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is just I
3 to
just
base.
can't imagine a world where he finds his way out of this. He's down to a single HP. He doesn't have it. There it is.
What a match. What a match. So we have Daniel winning the final.
Congrats to
the-
Daniel.
Indeed.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen.
His face doesn't show
Wow,
it, but
what is
I
this?
bet. Oh, there we go. There was the sigh.
It's
There's the sigh.
finally over.
It's finally
over.
Great job to him, man.
All right, let's try this one more time. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, there is your victor in the Star Wars Unlimited Sector Qualifier here in Denver. That would be Daniel, a native of coming all the way from Omaha, Nebraska, playing for, what do you think, like 15, 16 hours of Unlimited to get to this point? And there it is.
Probably the most uncomfortable chairs ever
Oh,
made
these
by
chairs
the
are
history of
these
man.
chairs are brutally uncomfortable. This is awful. So yeah, this is bad.
And Cornhusker Nation goes wild. We had people from Oklahoma, climbing up. But what a great tournament. from
Well
Daniel
played.
And all the rest of the
Yep.
Yeah, all the
players.
field.
I mean,
Yep.
Top 8 was stacked.
Well played by everybody. Fantastic.